this is Carol from COXO. Welcome to COXO webinar. This is COXO the 73 time for webinar. It's for free webinar. COXO always share and invite the professional to share their lecture to teach the dentists how to improve their daily skill. So I think it's very good. Today, first I want to introduce how to get the certificate because at this webinar we invite Dr. Ankit. Is very professional in India, and I already saw a lot of the Indian dentists say hello in the Facebook comment. So first I want to tell you how to get COXO gift. Today we will suppose two lucky gifts. Let me show how to get the gift and how to get the certificate. Here, step one, you need to follow and like COXO page. Here, follow and like as your page. Step 2, leave your comment and leave your on the live video. Leave your comment. First, you can leave your comment, say hello or everything, and you can and COXO will pick up one lucky person to support the lucky gift. And after Dr. Ankit finish his lecture, if you leave the question on the comment, we will pick up the best question during this comment, and the best question dentist can COXO will support give for him or her too. And at the end of the live show, we will show the phone link to the comment. And if you want to get the certificate, you need to open the link and fill up the form and submit to get the certificate. About 3 steps all done. In 5 days later, you will get the PDF form certificate in your mail. And please be to notice, one is the form can only be filled up for one time, and it's only for 5 hours after the lecture. So please hurry up if you want to get the certificate. Also, this certificate you can print out and build on your clinic work. So I think the certificate is very useful. That is mean you already get the new skill. And the second, the form cannot be modified. So you must be sure all the information you left are correct. And here is the certificate. It's COXO Award certificate. And this one, he said, Doctor, your name has successfully completed COXO public online course on September 15, which spoke by Dr. Ankit, and the name will be changed. And here is the speaker signature, and also have the COXO stamp and our CEO signature. So I think the certificate is very useful. You can print out on your clinic. When the patient come, they can see your certificate. Okay, if you want to get the certificate, don't forget to make these 3 steps. And the second one, I want to introduce during this webinar, we will support 2 lucky person. The first lucky person is leave the comment. So everybody, please say hello, and hello, where are you from? Say hello, I'm from India, or hello, I'm from Cambodian. You can tell me where are you from. And for this webinar, we will pick up 2 lucky person. One person is the lucky person can give SC profile 2018 for 3 pieces. And the best question can get SC profile 2018 3 pieces too. So COXO will spell for 3 shifts for the SC profile to each lucky person. Okay, that's all for how to get the certificate and how to win the lucky gift. And COXO also want to invite our local dealer in India because we have cooperation more than 10 years and we are very happy he do a lot of the effort in Indian market. Now, welcome to Mr. Andy.
Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
Andy.
Hello, Carol. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, good evening. Okay, I will give you around 3 or 5 minutes. You can
Yeah,
introduce COXO in Indian. I will
sure.
show you PowerPoint. You need to share your PowerPoint.
Yeah, thank you, Carol. We are Sarvamangal and we are with COXO for long period and had been going stronger every day. Sarvamangal COXO in India, we normally care for innovations, precision, and service. Let me tell you about our group. Sarvamangal is basically belongs to Sarvamangal Group, which consists of Sarvamangal Healthcare Private Limited, Sarvamangal Enterprises, Acumen Services, Sarvamangal Healthcare Innovation Center, our R&D firm, and we also have Dr. B.N. Kulkarni Charitable Trust, where we do a lot of social activities. As our name suggests, Sarvamangal basically is a vision. It is Sarva Mangal or always good to all. We are proactive, innovative, entrepreneurial with integrity and dignity. Our organization is board of directors, then managing director and CEO, and we have different departments to cater to our day-to-day working. Our vision is to be part of stronger dental community prepared for all future challenges. Our goal is to find new ways of offering something better than the best and providing our customers with ultimate smile that lasts longer. To provide dental practitioners with the equipment that keeps them ahead of with optimizing their treatment workflow, creating a platform for modern techniques and patient communication. Saramangal will consistently work to meet and exceed the expectations of our customers. So we these are COXO factory and the Saramangal. We are attached to each other from 2007 onwards. So we want to become a respectable dental alliance. We want to provide quality service and excellence to our customers.
Hello, Andy. I think there is something internet wrong with our dealer Andy. Anyway, if you any dentist want to buy COXO product, please connect with.
Service ensuring dentists to have a peace of mind in usage of the COXO equipment. Now, there are a lot of world's first which we introduced along with COXO. This is CRCC. Now, this is a patented product of Saramangal Healthcare Innovation Center and now manufactured by COXO for worldwide supply. Then we have world leaders. COXO is world leader in endomotor apex locator combination, C Smart Pilot, C Smart Mini AP, and C Smart iPro are among 14 different models. We have apex locator, precision apex locator giving you same result as J Morita, C Root I. One of the best dental curing lights are DB686 Swift and DB686 Nano. And while Nano comes with caries detector, DB686 Swift has got a special ortho function and basically it is having very high power. Then we are leaders in electric motors. Many of European companies they use these motors with their chairs, and we are pioneers in this field. So there is a C Puma and C Puma Master. C Puma Master will be endomotor with apex locator combination. We are one of the largest selling files, NITA files in Asia. Now it's a SC Pro with various versions. SC Pro, SC Pro 2018. One of the best obturation systems, one of the first in China to make it, and these are already been sold in India with all models. Implant motors also, there have been a lot of customers who had been using it from 2009 onwards, and these are very patient friendly, very doctor friendly implant motors, physio dispensers. We have other products like caries detector. We have C mirror, which is anti-fog mirror with suction. There is alginate mixer. We are now will be introducing a rotor with caries detector, and so on and so forth. So in other products, we have endo activators. These are ultra smart, which are ultrasonic endo activators by COXO, and we also have PATS, which are PATS Vario, which is an air sonic system. So PATS Vario is a product of SHI. We This is a caries detection light, which is we will be introducing in India shortly. This the air rotor itself will do the caries detection function, and we are also patent holders for twin dent and twin dent XL, which is double side vented pre-bent autoclavable irrigation tips. So these are our motto, just a call, and that's all what you need to do. Saramangal Healthcare is based at Sangli, which is the headquarters, but we are operating all over India through our dealers and all. Now, Saramangal, you can contact with our emails. You can follow our Facebook page, SHPL India, or you can also WhatsApp or mobile phone. Always we are online. We will respond your queries in 12 hours and suggest your permanent solution in 24 hours. COXO company trained engineers we are having for our your precise services. Then we please do contact, choose Sarvamangal COXO for the best product quality and service. Contact Sarvamangal 98230 48686. Thank you so much. Over to you, Carol.
Oh, Andy, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
your
you.
introduction COXO with in Indian market. Okay,
Yeah,
if
thank
any,
you. Thank you all.
yes, thank you. Now I move you. Many thanks for Andy. If any dentists want to buy COXO product, please connect with Saramango, phones, mail, or website or Facebook. I saw a lot of dentists say hello, such as the Mohammed say hello, COXO from series, and say hello for dental porn. And if any dentist want win the COXO gift, please leave your comment and share this link for your friend, for your dental friend. Now I want to introduce this um, our our professional Dr. Ankit for this webinar. And today our webinar topic is 3D 3B operation. Now, welcome. Hello, Dr. Ankit.
Hello everyone. Good evening.
Okay, now I give the time for you.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Okay.
So, should we begin, Carol?
Yes, it's begin.
Hello.
Yes, it's beginning.
Yes. Can you see my first screen?
Yes, I can see your first page.
Okay. Hello everyone. This is Dr. Ankit from India. I'm a board certified endodontist practicing in South Gujarat, and I'm an exclusively practicing endodontist since past 7 years. And my favorite topic, this is my really favorite topic, 3D obturation. This is a time when actually once the final x-ray comes, either you are doing high-fiving with your assistant, with your associate dentist, or it's just the terror of error. So what I want to say, it's not about that I'm an endodontist so I can perform good root canals. I'll just tell you, I'm just a dentist, and good dentistry makes me happy. You just need to follow certain principles which I'll be talking today during my webinar, and there are some key points which I'll even stress a lot about it. And if you do this, follow these few steps, you can get very predictable results during your final x-ray. When it comes to finish off your root canals, you'll get exactly predictable results each and every time once you perform your root canals. Okay, so if you see this first x-ray, can you see, if I just took it in a slob rule, in an angulated distal or mesial view, you can see how well beautifully this all canals are filled. You cannot find any space. All lateral canals are filled. three-dimensionally packed. Even if you just invert the image, you won't find any gap, right? So this is the one what you want. And once you see this kind of x-ray, it gives you a different type of what I say, energy or adrenaline rush, and you are high-fiving with your assistant and your associate dentist. Yes, we have done a good job, a predictable job, and even the patients get a very good results. Fine. So for obturation of root canal space, you need to follow certain things, and those are: when do you obturate, why do you obturate, where do you exactly obturate, and what do you obturate. So in this topics, I'll be covering all those points, key points, which daily you might be having doubts. Should I do this or should not be doing this? So I'll be clearing all your doubts during presentation. And if you have any doubts, please ask me at the end of the presentation. Don't ask me in between of the presentation. So I'll be waiting. I'll be happy to clear your doubts at the end of presentation. Okay. So starting with the time of obturation. When should you obturation? Okay. Most of dentists in my area, they prefer doing multiple visits. Okay. I asked them, why are you doing multiple visits? They said that we are not sure whether we have done a good job. Okay, I agree to them. Second time, when your patient comes back again, and if I ask them, why have you called your patient again today and you are not obturating it, they say we are not sure about it. So when are you sure about it then? So it's the first very time. Once you finish your biomechanical preparation, that is called cleaning and shaping, and once you activate it with your activators, any different type of activators, once you use hypochlorite, all irrigants work. You know what is the time of obturation? It's immediate. The answer is immediate. They have a doubt whether if we do an immediate obturation, our root canals will fail. Even after doing multiple visits, they are not sure whether their root canals will fail or not. So for you guys to understand, there is less frequency of post-operative pain. Even if you do a single visit of root canal, still the studies say there is less frequency of post-obturation pain. Then there is no difference in radiographic success, even if you do multiple visits or if you do a single visit. There is a higher healing rate. You're increasing the chances. So here the thing is that people use regularly calcium hydroxide, intermittent intracanal medicament in between of their obturation. It is, I don't understand, why do you need calcium hydroxide? For what reason? So they said that it was taught to by our teachers, our seniors are following the same thing, but they don't know this calcium hydroxide. We live in evidence-based dentistry. We actually don't require calcium hydroxide intracanal medicament if you can finish it in one day. It is so difficult that once you use calcium hydroxide, it is very difficult to remove it from the canal. And if this calcium hydroxide remains in those canal walls, it will lead to an resorptive process. So why do you want to risk your final stage? You have done such a good cleaning, you have done the shaping part. What are you worried about? Why are you so scared about? It's about the pain. Just give painkillers. You don't need anything else. Okay, so it has a higher healing rate. So single visit root canal treatments are marginally more effective than multiple visits. Next thing is, it is less time consuming and more economical. This is totally based on operator based. If you know how you want to finish off the root canal, how much time it takes from biomechanical preparation, just 10 to 15 minutes. Most of the time, if you just spend on irrigation 10 minutes, you just need to do that shaping of the canal and you are done. And rest of the time, just irrigate it well, activate it well, and that's it. You're done. You just need to obturate it. I'll tell you which is a scenario where you should not do it. See, there was a study done in US that if you do one visit and if your revenue is 700, you make a profit of $375. Okay. If you do two visits, your profit reduces. So, and if you do three visits, one single root canal, if you do for 3 visits, You are doing practicing in law. So why do you need multiple visits? There are certain conditions only they require multiple visits, but maximum of your cases which comes in clinic, that is just 0.1% require multiple visits. Maximum of your patients can be easily managed is in just one single visit, and one single visit is, that's it. The problem or the fear what everyone has it is that our patients will feel pain. You do anything, for example, even if you do on a way to see multiple visit or a single visit, your patients will always have pain. For that, please prescribe non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs. Okay, you can give anti-inflammatory drugs regularly, but you don't require antibiotics. In my region, people love prescribing antibiotics. This thing I want to share it with everyone. You don't need antibiotics in all of your cases. Okay, so in my area they have a huge practice of prescribing antibiotics to every single patient. I don't understand the reason. If you have pain, prescribe antibiotics. If you have a tender tooth, or if you have mobility, give antibiotics. The problem is simple: they have pain, please try to prescribe only painkillers or anti-inflammatory drugs. So reduce the dose of your prescription, and just painkillers will actually help you. Okay, and single visit or you do a multiple visit, the result and outcome will be same. So it's a just one step treatment. Have you ever seen any of the surgeon, for example, a general surgeon, a patient goes for his operation of his appendix, and the doctor says we will require multiple visits to remove your appendix? So that's so funny. And we as a dental professional, we call our patients multiple time for that single tooth. Are you getting understand? Are you standing? Even the surgeon will do his job in one visit, and there's so much of infection. So why can't we do it? Okay, so our game is, whatever I say, our game is inside that tooth. Okay, you start from the coronal till your apex. That is only the playground for us. If you do that thing properly, your lesion outside the body, what is outside the tooth, your bone or your periodontal ligaments or periodontium, everything will heal on its own. Just you have to focus on the etiology, that's the tooth which is creating that pain. Okay, and for that you don't need antibiotics. You need good root canal treatment and a good seal, that's a good obturation, and obviously you will get amazing results at the end. So there's a study done by Martin Trupe. You know what he suggested? All vital teeth. You understand what is a vital teeth? Means a blood oozing out from this canal. So this is one of the case. All vital teeth, you need to do it in single visit, like this what I have done. Okay, second scenario: patient, they have a non-vital tooth and do not have any periapical infection, like in this case, central incisor, a left central incisor. Patient is, the tooth is non-vital, but there is no periapical infection and patient is not having any symptoms. You finish it in one visit. You finish it in one visit. Third scenario: patients with non-vital tooth with periapical infection, but there are no symptoms. Are you guessing what I am focusing on? There are no symptoms. You have a necrosed pulp, and but you don't have any symptoms. You can do it in single visit. Okay. Again, a case of mine, which is again a non-vital case with also having a periapical infection with no symptom. The patient did not have any symptoms. So I finished this thing in one visit. I did not use calcium hydroxide. I just focused on doing proper irrigation, proper activation. That was the main part. Shaping is so that our irrigants can reach till the apex, can clean the apical part of the root, and patient did not have any symptoms. I finished in one go. Patient had time, even I had time, and we were able to finish this case within first visit. You can fill. So the thing is, when you can fill, the canals are dry. See, there are many things given in textbooks, what you read. but clinically there are only two criteria. There are two judgments. One is the canal should be dried once you use your paper points at the end of your shaping and irrigation process. If you get your canal dried, and second thing, if patient is not having swelling, I'm saying swelling, that means symptoms, you can fill it. So this is a way I use paper points. If I get dry canals at the end, if the paper points are dry, I can obturate on the very first go. I do not need calcium hydroxide. But like this case, I'm going to share with you, he was having an extraoral sinus tract. Again, an excellent case to be done in single visit. I did this obturation on the very first go, and the extraoral sinus disappeared within 7 days. But the lesion will take time to heal. Maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But that will take time to heal. So this patient, he came after 1 year. You can see on your left side, there is a CBCT, pre-op CBCT showing a periapical infection in which the mandibular buccal plate was also involved. But at the end of 1 year, I did this root canal in one visit, and after a 1 year follow-up, you can see the bone is formed. So what happened actually in this case? There was a missed canal, there was an improper obturation. I just did it everything properly, and I was confident about it. I have sealed it 3-dimensionally, and the results are in front of you. It gives you an amazing result. This patient had come from an overseas, from United Kingdom, all the way to India to get his treatment done, and he came after a year and he's happy with the result. Even I am happy with the result. What I did this thing in single visit. Okay, again this case, it was done. The patient came in the month of January. I have done a re-root canal at the end of 12 months. Just in 12 months, you can see the entire bone architecture is back to the normal. So here, my game was inside that tooth, from starting from the crown till the apices. I have just filled it properly, cleaned it well, and outside body, I know outside that tooth, the body took care of it. God is very forgiving, man. So I know the body is gonna heal the outside, the periodontium part, the roots, the bone architecture will come back to normal if I just treat the tooth properly. So this is again on his left side. Again, one of the similar cases. Both the cases, he had his 3-6 and 4-6. Both were retreated, and he came after 1 year. I can see no symptoms, nothing. The periapical lesion have reduced, it's healing, and this also you can see there is mesially, there is slight periapical infection that is in a stage of healing. Eventually, over a period of time, this will come back to normal. It needs time. But there are cases where you should avoid doing single visit. So those patients, they have acute symptoms like swelling, like they have a huge swelling and they have a severe pain. So at that time, you can postpone your treatment. For example, this case. Can you see this case? I will never do a herodontics here. I will always wait. I know this is upper second molar is involved, and I cannot do a single visit in him. I need to wait until his symptoms disappear. So once I did my cleaning and shaping, you can see he's back to his normal. He looks so he's so beautiful, man. Otherwise, the way he was looking before and see him now, it's makes so much of difference. So once you start your cleaning and shaping, the healing part will start. You don't have to wait. Some people have doubts. So when this healing thing happened, the moment I have done irrigation and biomechanical preparation, and that the moment healing started, I have just removed the cause of etiology, that was that tooth, and once I filled it, see, he's back. Again, this case, upper left central incisor, there is a huge periapical infection. There is a palatal swelling. I will not even dare to obturate in this case on a very first visit. I will just postpone it because I will not get dry canals. It's not. And other thing is that patient has acute symptoms like swelling. So in this case, you can avoid avoid single visit. So now if you see the swelling cases, there are, how many cases do you get in your clinic? Such cases are 0.1%. Okay, 0.1% people only require multiple visit, and 0.1% people only require antibiotic. So since now we have recovered from COVID situation after a very long time, we are still recovering, because none of the medicines were working against this viral infection what we got in like the last few years. We should try to focus on reducing our antibiotic prescription, because one day there will be such some infection which our regular antibiotics will not be able to work, that we have so much of resistance or tolerance developed. So try to reduce your prescription. If your patient has pain, give painkillers, not antibiotics. Okay, antibiotics are for certain cases only, that is when the patient is having acute symptoms. So now if you ask, there are few doctors who will suggest, so should we remove the tooth and place implants? So I want to ask you, do you know what is the success rate of an endodontic treatment, endodontically treated, and what is the success rate of an implant? If you calculate it, you know, root canal treatment has a highest success rate, that is 90%. That's a very high percentage. The only success mantra what I say is, you shape it well, you clean it well, you irrigate it well, and once you do that, you should have a fluid tight seal. That is obturation part. You don't want your canals to be leaky again, your microbes to be growing again in those canals back again. So you need to give a tight seal. Everybody focuses on shaping and cleaning part. You can use any file systems, and you can reach till the apex, you can do good irrigation, but if you don't obturate it well, there is spaces, again the microorganisms will grow. So after a certain period, if you do a good root canal and if you don't do a good seal, it will fail. And the seal includes your coronal seal and also your apical seal. Coronal seal and apical seal, both are very important. For apical seal, I'm going to share in my future slides which devices and how predictably you can get proper apical seal. Coronal seal, you have a huge choices. You can use composites, those who are practicing the old techniques of amalgam, or some are using a core buildup. Anything is okay, because you can see it, you can seal it well. But apically, what you're not able to seal it, and because it's a three-dimensional, the root canal is a system, it's a three-dimensional, you need to pack it. So you need certain devices, and which is very important to get that apical seal, which I'm going to share you in future slides. Okay, so why most of the root canal fail? It's because of poor seal. Okay, and what is the success rate of root canal? 90%. That's a huge percentage. So I will rather do a root canal rather than putting an implant. I know it's a very high percentage, and I'll get a good predictable result. Implants can wait for a certain time. So now if I'll be talking about the seal, and this is a coronal seal. First I'll talk about coronal seal. You can see this pre-op clinical situation. I took this picture, and you can see a pre-op radiograph. Now looking at this, you can see there is no coronal seal only, right? So how this tooth is gonna last for another 15 to 20 years? So that is the problem. And there and removing it and doing an implant is not the criteria here. The bone architecture is proper. Just that you have lack of knowledge does not mean we remove the tooth and do an implant to this case. Here you are missing the coronal seal and also the apical seal, and also you can see that the canal is missed. So that is why this is this tooth has failed. So when I isolated it and I removed it, I saw this gutta percha. There's so much of gutta percha in the chamber. The main thing what we learned in our during our dental school is that the gutta percha should be limited to the coronal orifice level, or 2 mm below the coronal orifice. What does this mean? Okay, you see so much of gutta percha in the chamber, you don't get a coronal seal. Here there will be secondary leakage and this tooth will fail. I removed everything. Now you can see all the three canals which are shaped well, cleaned well. There is no oozing. And I did this retreatment just in single visit. After that, I did the down pack. This is my apical seal. I'll tell you what is a down pack. There is a special devices to seal apical part with gutta percha. Okay, that is called as obturation pen. And later on, you can just do the backfill. And now you see, now you compare both the situation, left and right, both the situation. Now, which is a clean chamber, your gutta percha are just restricted towards the orifice level, and now this tooth is ready to bond. Now I can predictably do it. And if I see my final result, you can see this final result and compare it with my pre-op situation. Now this is what, now I can rely on my treatment, that this treatment will last for many years. If patient maintains his or her oral hygiene, this tooth will last. It will last more than even implants. And this I have done in single visit, because there was no oozing from the canal. I could clean and shape all the canals at the same time. And also patient had time, even I had the time to finish it. I finished it. And I had the things, devices to seal it apically, to seal it coronally, and these are the results. So why do you do the obturation? You want to stop the coronal leakage. Any microorganisms, you don't autoclave the tooth, you disinfect the tooth. So any microorganism which is present inside the root canal system, they get blocked apically and coronally, and they do not get any food. Okay, so once you block them, there will be no infection. They will not be able to survive. Okay, and once you do get a good apical seal, even periapically the infection will heal, because the source of nutrients which was coming from the tooth is being blocked. Okay, so once you block all these portals of infection, you will get your predictable result. So the rule is seal to heal. Okay, both the cases, you can see a periapical infection. I have done a cleaning, shaping, and three-dimensionally filled it, and you can see the result. In both the cases, in upper central incisor, upper lateral incisor, I just finished this case in single visit. When I called my patients for follow-up, I saw the results. This is after 3 months, and the lesion is healing. It's good. Maybe the complete healing might take some year, that might be 6 months, but that does not matter. It's healing. It's in a healing stage. So you can finish it in one go. Just focus on two things, that is good irrigation part, good cleaning and shaping. And once you do it, don't miss the most important thing, that is obturating three-dimensionally. Okay, so when did the healing started in this case? This root canal was done for 20 years back. Can you imagine this tooth going 20 years, and there is a huge periapical infection? There was a missed canal. There was a lingual canal, lower central incisors. There are usually two canals, and that was missed. I had to give a calcium hydroxide dressing because there was pus oozing out of this canal. I give the calcium hydroxide dressing, and the healing started immediately. Once I got the dry canals, I obturated it, and the healing was already begin after 6 weeks. And I obturated it well. I have given a temporary restoration because it was an anterior tooth, and all her symptoms disappeared. So this tooth can last for 20 years. If I do a good job, I feel my treatment will last longer. Okay, so our basic bread and butter is root canal treatment and the restoration. If you do it well, your treatments go really long. So the thing is, just focus on this thing. If you do a poor endodontics, but you give a good seal, I know you didn't do a good cleaning and shaping, but you did a good seal. What I say, you have all the devices, you did a down pack, and you gave a good coronal seal, is always better. Even if I do a good endodontics, like nobody is a bad endodontist here. Everybody does a good endodontics. If you do a good endodontics, why don't you focus much on that seal part? Why at the end you are tired to give that proper seal? And once you give a poor seal, your entire root canal treatment is being compromised. Okay, so like in this case, a well-filled canal does not mean that canals are clean. You need to clean it three-dimensional, clean it, pack it well three-dimensionally, and you see the results. You see this result. I have done this thing in single visit, and 1 year after, when patient came after 1 year, see, it's as it is. There was an external root resorption. It is stable. Patient does not have any symptoms. What did I focus on? If I compare my this pre-op image, I had focused on cleaning, shaping, and lastly, I focused much more on giving a three-dimensional seal, apically also and coronal also, which was lacking in the previous treatment. And that is the reason my patient is symptom free, and now I can assure him my treatment can go for last longer. Okay, so now this is the most important point. I was telling you, I'm gonna tell you a few points. Where do we need to obturate it? You know why I'm focusing on, because it is very important for you guys, where you need to exactly get that apical seal. So where do you obturate it? So this is a clinical tip. I'm gonna go very slow on this part. I'm gonna repeat it twice. Please bear with me with this thing, because this is the most predictable way of doing it. Okay, so we all know this image, that there is a major diameter which is called as apical foramen, and there is something called as minor diameter which is called as apical constriction. So how do you obturate? How do you obturate it? Means what is a, you do your biomechanical preparation with the help of apex locator. Those who do not use apex locator, please buy one first, because without apex locators you cannot do root canal treatment. Now it's an such an advanced endodontics, modern endodontics. Without apex locators you cannot actually determine what is your working length, what is that entire length, where do you need to obturate. So I'm gonna tell you how to use your apex locator, and where you need to obturate it, where you need to shape it, and how to select your master cone. This is a very important point. Kindly pay attention, especially on this part. So if you see this on your apex locator, there are four common readings. The first picture, once you see on your upper left top corner, if you see the reading is not shown, that means your file has not entered the canal. Okay, once you enter the canal, your reading starts. Okay, so where is the exact point? Is that 0 0 marking? Now you should be asking, sir, what is this 0 0? If you see clearly, there are, for example, I'm taking off this apex locator, there is something called as green zone, red zone, and blue zone. So green zone is a zone, that distance that is from minor diameter to major diameter. Okay, so if you can see the image, there is something written as 1, and there is something written as apex. So this zone is called as safe zone, and this is called as zone between minor diameter to major diameter. Okay, this is a place where you need to do your cleaning, shaping, and obturating it. If you go in blue zone, that means you have done an incomplete cleaning. If you go beyond Okay. Sorry if I got disconnected. Sorry for the glitch, guys. I'll just say, okay. See, I'll just repeat the thing. See, there are two place where you need to obturate it. That is your major diameter. The distance between, you should know this image. The one is called as major diameter. What is something called as minor diameter? They're called as apical foramen and apical constriction. Both are the same things. So now, where do you need to obturate? You need to obturate between these two zones. So therefore, this two zones between to understand between these two zones predictably, you need one device which is called as apex locator. Before the start of presentation, Dr. Anirudh, he showed you apex locator, which is very accurate. Okay, so you can use any apex locator to determine this, to determine the difference between the major and minor diameter, and that is a place where you need to do your cleaning, shaping, and the obturation part. Okay, so this is predictably only and only achieved with the help of apex locator. So I'm going to tell you how this apex locator things work. You can see this image. There are four different situations shown. Once, if you have not entered the root canal orifices, there will be no reading on the apex locator. Okay, once you enter the root canal system, you are in a blue zone. Any apex locator can have a different zones. For me, my apex locator has blue zone, green zone, and a red zone. So blue zone means I am short of minor diameter, or I am short of that distance between major and minor diameter. So I need to reach till that green zone. And once I reach to the green zone, that is called a 0, 0. That is the actual place where I need to obturate it, where I need to finish my cleaning and shaping. And beyond that, if you try to reach it, you're gonna actually just gonna violate the apical foramen. So this thing can be predictably done with the help of apex locators. Are you getting? Apex locators play a vital role in this modern endodontics. Without apex locators, I don't think so root canals are even possible today. Okay, predictably. So if you don't have an apex locator, first buy the apex locator. Every apex locator will have the same settings. One is a blue zone, one is a green zone, and one is a red zone. So you need to finish your cleaning, shaping, and obturation part in that green zone. I'm gonna soon share you a video. Even your apex locator tells you with a sound that you are short, you are at the right place, or you are at the wrong place. So we'll see the video. Okay, you see this video here. Apex locator is telling I'm in the blue zone, I'm short of the apex. Now you are at the right position. This is the place where you need to get your patency, your cleaning and shaping part. This is also acceptable for your obturation, for your cleaning and shaping, because you are in a green zone. And once you exceed this zone, which is called as a red zone, you should not go beyond this. You're violating the foramen. Okay, so apex locator itself has a different sound. They will tell you this thing, that whether you are short, whether you are exactly at the position, or you are beyond the position. So extent of your obturation, if you go theoretically, it is dentinocemental junction apically, which you are not able to see it. If you want to see it, you have to see via a cut section pathological report. Okay, and what you can see is just the coronal orifices. So what is the right way to determine this junction is with the help of apex locator. Your apex locators work exactly at this place, and they will tell you this is your dentinocemental junction apically, and this is the apical stop. Okay, so now comes your cleaning and shaping. You understood where you need to shape it. That is DCJ. Now you should ask me a question that, sir, how do you determine the exact place to obturate apically? Because gataparcha is not made up of metal, it is made up of rubber. How will you determine the extent apically with gataparcha? So I have a technique. Okay, this is a technique. If you know this, there are two file systems. One is called as verifiers. Okay, or otherwise you can use this smooth spreaders. Okay, they are long spreaders. Once you do your cleaning and shaping, you have to just, once you finish your cleaning, okay, if you're using a 6% taper file, if you're using a 4%, that doesn't matter. Okay, the, any taper, use your 2% spreaders or verifiers with the help of apex locators. And once you put it inside the canal, for example, you have shaped till for example 30 number is your apical size on the rotary file, on your shaping file it was 30, but once you put your 30 number verify, it goes beyond. Your apex locator is showing a false, it is going beyond. You need to shift to a bigger file. So it's a big myth that if your rotary files and your gutta percha point are matching together. No, that's not the right. So how do you predictably select your gutta percha point? That is with the help of apex locator, and this is with the help of verifiers or with the help of spreaders. Just put it inside the canal, use your apex locator. Because they are smooth, you will get the apical stop, and once you get the apical stop, okay, this is a gutta percha which I should be selecting it. Like even if you do it with 30, and if 35 or 40 you need to select it, you need to go with the higher size of gutta percha because they never match. Okay, so I'm going to show you a small video where I have done the same thing. I have prepared the canal with 2504 taper. Okay, and this is my spreader which I have attached my apex locator, and it is showing exactly 00. It is a 30 number spreader. So which gutta percha I should be selecting? A 30 number, because this is the exact extent of gutta percha. Now you can confirm this thing even with your x-rays. Are you getting the point? Okay, again I'll demonstrate another video. Fine. See, you can see this video. Okay, I'm gauging the canal. Okay, this is wheel number 55. Are you getting it? Once I did my cleaning and shaping, I use this file along with the apex locator. It's a verifier, 55 number verifier, and now I'm gonna exactly use the same gutta percha. So I don't do arbitrary selection. Okay, if gutta percha goes beyond, I don't cut it. That is an arbitrary way of doing it. If you want to predictably select your gutta percha, you need to have certain technique, and which is the most reliable technique? This is your apex locator. Apex locator are most reliable thing, and once you select the gutta percha, then you take the master cone x-ray, and 2 times you're verifying your gutta percha also, and this is the where apical seal is determined predictably. Okay, so never follow the instructions given by the dealer. If you use the same rotary file and the same gutta percha, it never matches. Okay, I'm gonna tell you in my future slides how this thing happened. So why this above root canal failed? Because they were not able to reach till that minor diameter. Okay, so they were not able to obturate it. Why? Because they have not shaped it. They have not used apex locator. If they have used it, they would have got success. And I did the same process. It's a very simple process, and I was able to reach the apex. I gauged my apical foramen, and I used a similar kind of GP gutta percha point, and I down packed it. I backfilled it, 3-dimensionally packed it, and you can see the results. It's very predictable. So now comes, if you are short, what happens? See, it's all about the microbes inside the canal. Okay, if you have a short filling, definitely that is gonna lead to failure. Okay, so you need to reach that. And multiple slides, if you see my multiple slides, I'll be talking about 2 things: single visit, reaching to that minor diameter, that minor and major diameter, using of your apex locator, gauging. This part are very important. For predictably selecting the master cone is also very important. I don't rely totally on exactly on manufacturer's master cone. I need to have my own brains working, which will give me exact seal. Okay. even in this case, this root canal was done. I am the third dentist who was treating her, and she was tired of the treatment. Again and again she was having complaining of pain. Why? Because the dentist did not use apex locator. You did not reach till that apical part. If you're not able to reach that apical part, there will be microbes in the canal, and which is going to lead to that failure. So what I did, I reached to that 0, 0. I cleaned it well, three-dimensionally. You can see it is filled. There are no spaces in the root canal system, and patient is absolutely fine. So now comes most important, selection of master cone, which I have already discussed with you. That Gatapacha master cone is fitted where minor diameter. If you want to exactly understand what is the minor diameter and get the true tuck back, okay, the word true tuck back, everybody in this dentist talk about tuck back. We should get a tuck back, okay, but it should come from minor diameter. How your GP is going to determine that minor diameter? Your Gatapacha is made up of rubber. It cannot determine your minor diameter. So you need to gauge it. And for gauging, you need two things. That is apex locator. Second is either use your files, either you can use verifiers, either you can use spreaders. It can go absolutely tell you where is the exact location of minor diameter, and then only you need to select your Gatapacha points. Okay, so what is the difference between a true tuck back and a false tuck back? You prepare the canal. For example, you prepare it with 6% degree taper, 4% degree taper, or 8% degree taper. That doesn't matter. Okay, your Gatapacha should be thin. Okay, like what you see in your left hand side of image, the Gatapacha is only getting seated apically. There is only apical binding. You can see there are voids in the middle third, and on the right side you can see there is apically voids, but in the middle third there is an engagement, there is a binding. So this is a false tuck back. And if you try to obturate it, the Gatapacha will go beyond apex, because you do not have a proper apical binding. For an apical binding, you need to use a Gatapacha which is smaller in size, a one size smaller in size. For example, I'll show you. To assume that the cone will fit, the matching file is an inaccurate. Okay, so this is what I wanted to explain you. If you are using a 6-degree taper files, you should not use a 6-degree taper Gatapacha. Use a 4-degree taper. That will help you eventually. And all the lateral spaces, if you use a 4-degree, your next question will be, sir, there will be so much of spaces around, how do we fill it? Yes, I'm going to come on it. How do we fill it? 3-dimensionally, I'm going to talk about it. But you need to use a smaller diameter one, which is a smaller not diameter, I'm sorry, smaller percentage, like a 4-degree taper. So Gatapacha master cone of 4% should be fitted at the minor diameter. But how do you select your Gatapacha? With the help of apex locator, and you have already verified it with the verifier. Then only, do not just jump to Gatapacha. If you are using a 30 number file, I'll use the same 30 number Gatapacha. No, first do an apical gauging with your apex locator and with the verifier, and then proceed with the master cone, which is, and then is the right way to choose your Gatapacha. Okay, so there are 3 steps in between. After cleaning and shaping, you do the gauging part. Okay, with you dry the canals, you use apex locator with the gauging with your verifiers or anything, then only you select your master cone. And third thing you will do is make one radiograph. Okay, that is a check radiograph. Okay, so limiting the tuck back to only apical extent. If you prevent the premature coronal binding, then only you will get the true tuck back. Otherwise, if you are thinking that I'll use the same degree taper of Gatapacha point, you will never able to get that 3-dimensional seal. You will always feel I use this device and my Gatapacha went beyond apex. No, that is not the right way. There is lots of research and development goes behind every devices they have to use. You have to understand the technique. You need to develop this technique of apical gauging. Okay, so what I will do is I'll prepare my canal with 6%. You can prepare it with 4 and you can still use a 4 one, because if you prepare with 4, the canal shape will be 5%, because there is some movement with your minor movements with your endomotor, and once you brush the canals, it eventually becomes a 5-degree taper. So use a 4-degree taper. I usually prefer using my non-standardized gutta percha. These are non-standardized gutta percha, fine medium. Fine medium means 4-degree taper. Medium means 6-degree taper, and extra fine means even a finer this thing. You can use this non-standardized gutta percha. Now you will ask me, sir, what is this standardized and non-standardized gutta percha? So if you go to your textbooks part, there is something called as ISO standardization of the files. You that accordingly we have 6-number file, we have 8-number file, 10-number, and we have gutta percha. But that system was only for 2-degree taper. What I'm saying, 2-degree taper. That system was never made for 6-degree taper or a 4-degree taper. So what if you feel that this 25 6-degree is an accurate? No, it is never standardized. Your gutta perchas are never ever standardized. So you need to buy this scale. It is called as gutta percha gauge. It comes of a different company. It is called as gutta percha gauge. I'm repeating it. It's called as gutta percha gauge, and you have a non-standardized gutta percha points available from different companies. And this gutta percha points, you need to gauge it. There are number from 20 till 140. If your apical size is 30, you just take one gutta percha, cut it exactly at the 30, and you can put it into 30. If you have 35, do it 35. So every time once you finish the gauging part, you need to pick up this non-standardized gutta percha, cut the GP exactly at the apex, exactly at the size, and then use it. Do not use the same gutta percha which is given by the company, because it is not standardized. Standardization was only for 2%, 2-degree taper, never for 6 or 4-degree taper. So you will never get all gutta percha of standardized gutta percha, even because they are hand rolled, even they are machined, they are not accurate. So you need to make them accurate. Okay. So going ahead, verify with your RVG, which is the most important point. The third point is you used your apex locator, you gauged it, you have you took the non-standardized gutta percha, you put it inside the canal, and then you verify it like this, whether I'm right or wrong, whether my gutta percha is getting limited to that apical extent like this. This is an important step. Do not try to skip it. If you see you have reached sufficiently accurately till apex, this is the right position where you have done everything, and this is a place where you need to obturate it properly. Okay, like this. It is called as cone fit x-rays again, and this x-ray. Okay, so what you will do is verify with your x-ray. So now what do you fill in the canal space? Gutta percha is commonly used. So what do you fill inside a canal? So there is Dr. Grossman, he said that he doubt this hollow cavity, this root canal system is filled with so many things. Some people used to fill wood, some people used to fill silver points, some people used to fill pins, so many things. But in today's endodontics, see, this pin, this was filled with silver points, but today in today's dentistry, it is filled with only two things. One is gutta percha, and another thing is bioceramic material. There are certain conditions there only you should go with a bioceramic material. So we will talk, which is the most commonest thing. These are the two common material, gutta percha and bioceramic material. So now what I want to tell you is where do we use gutta percha and where do we use this bioceramic material? How do you actually choose this material? Okay, so problem with gutta percha is, what it was, it's a rubber. It does not adhere to dentine. The problem with gutta percha is that dentine and gutta percha, they do not adhere. So you need some cements which are called as sealers. Okay, so I'll be talking about sealers here. Which sealer you need to select and at what time you need to select. Okay, so sealers are supposed to be used like a glue, and they set like hard like a rock. Are you getting the understand? You should use like a glue. Minimal amount of gutta pacha should be coated and it should be used in the dentine like a glue. And once this cement hardens, it should set hard like a rock. It should not resorb. So, root canal sealers are necessary to fill the space between the dentinal wall and your gutta pacha. If you see the image below, there is a gutta pacha, there is a sealer, and there is a dentine. So, this part we need a sealer, we need a cement to seal it. Okay. So sealers are self-hardening cement, which is absolutely used in minimal quantity. Okay, earlier sealers used to be having certain problems which I'm going to tell you that is this is the quantity. The problem with sealers used to be that they used to set like hard like a rock, but eventually they used to what I want to tell you, eventually over a period of time they used to resolve. Are you getting it? They used to create spaces. So that is the reason we used to use sealer in minimal quantity. You should not use coat the entire gutta pacha point with sealer and push in the or pump in the canal, because this sealer, if you use it in a more quantity, it's gonna create voids. It's gonna create voids, and once this interface breaks, again you will have micro leakage thing. Again the microbes will grow there, you will have space, and your root canal will fail. So you need to use, this is the quantity you should, and it should be only applied apically. You can see the gutta pacha point, only apically it is coated well, and you need to push it. You need to seal that apical part. Okay, this much sealer is sufficient. So I use this much sealer, and this is my post-op. Okay, you don't see any apical puff. There is one more myth, that if you have apical puff, when I was in my undergraduate, when I was in my dental school, if any student, any intern gets an apical puff, he used to show the entire department, I got an apical puff. No, you know, your limit of obturation is only that minor diameter. Anything beyond apex is considered as a foreign body. So what is your pitch? Okay, what is your ground? Your ground is from the coronal orifice till apical minor diameter or major diameter, the difference between that, which is accurately told by your apex. So that is the place where you need to fill it. Nothing beyond it, nothing short of it. Okay, what does an apical puff means? You must be having a doubt, sir. There is an apical puff. That only means only one thing, that is that you have a patent apical foramen. So if you push it, your excess sealer goes beyond that. That's it. That is what all it is meant. Okay, nothing else. Apically pushing lots of sealer purposefully makes no sense. It will not improve the prognosis or any outcome of your root canal system. Okay, you got it. So earlier the sealer types were ZOE based sealers. Okay, these are zinc oxidized eugenol based sealers. These sealers were used in 1960s. Okay, these are different types of ZOE based sealer. So what used to be there, advantages of using a ZOE based sealers, where if they get extruded beyond apex, okay, they will resorb. Okay, during setting they had a minimal shrinkage. How much was the shrinkage? That was from a 0.3 to 1%. And the biggest disadvantage of using a ZOE sealer was that it stains the tooth structure. That was the biggest disadvantages. So people started getting off the new sealer. So something came as calcium hydroxide based sealer. This is very famous in India, but it is no more available. But believe me, calcium hydroxide sealer based sealers were the most pathetic sealers. They were the worst sealers which were in the market, because they had a very high solubility, and they led to so much of marginal gaps in the root canal system that ZOE sealers were still better than the calcium hydroxide sealers. Then came the epoxy resin based sealer. Now these sealers were there in the market from a very long time. They are resin based sealer, but if I tell you what is a resin, okay, you know composites. Composite is composite resin. This is resin based sealer. So both are resin. What do composite needs? Absolute isolation. That means it is hydrophobic. Okay, it needs absolute isolation. So if you are not able to completely dry the root canal system, if there is a little bit of irrigant left in the canal, you know this sealer will not bond to root canal system, though it has a very good success rate, but it is very technique sensitive. What I say, it is very good, but it is very technique sensitive. You know, the problem is it is virtually insoluble. That is true, that is true. In general, excellent sealing ability, but the biggest disadvantage was cytotoxic, and the second was hydrophobic, that it has a poor bonding. Why? Because dentinal tubules has water inside. You know, there is dentine has water, and even if you don't, if you're not able to dry those part, you're gone. Okay, you are gonna lose this margin, you're gonna create this marginal gaps over a long period of time. So still we do not have any perfect sealer. But in year 2007, a revolutionary year, came the bioceramic sealers. Okay, this sealer has so many advantages. Believe me, bioceramic sealer do not shrink. You know, they expand in presence of moisture. They have an antimicrobial property, because once they go beyond the apex, they will release calcium hydroxide, and so they are having this antimicrobial property. Third thing is bioceramic sealer bonds to dentine. Wow, I needed this sealer. You know, this sealer plays a major role with this gutta percha thing. So bioceramic sealer bonds to dentine. Bioceramic sealer has a better flow properties, because it's a flowy, it goes into all the lateral canals easily, it goes into the isthmus region. And bioceramic sealer, the biggest advantage, it is hydrophilic. So even if there is a moisture in the canal, no worries, it is gonna give you a perfect seal. Okay, it is gonna bond with your dentine. So this is the biggest advantage of using bioceramic sealer. And here you can increase the quantity of the sealer also. This is the only place. If those who are using bioceramic sealer, or those who wish to use bioceramic sealer, there are many advantages of it. Okay, so in my routine endodontics, I just prepare my canals with 4-degree taper and 6-degree taper. I use a non-standardized gutta percha. I use a bioceramic sealer, and my root canal is done. This is a damn simple way to do it. Okay, but if you do not get the tuck back, for example, the foramen is open. Okay, somehow you violated it, the foramen, or physiologically the root is not developed. So you need to change the technique, and that time you go with the bioceramic material that is called as ProRoot MTA, or you can use biodentine from Septodent. Any of these products you can use it, MTA, biodentine, to seal that apical part. Like in this case, you can see the central incisor, it is huge. Even 80 number file will not give me a tuck back, so I need to seal this part apically. So I'm gonna switch my technique to MTA. Okay, you got it. Another case, this is not only for anterior tooth, even for your posterior teeth. If you see this lower right second molar, I tried to gauge the apical part with gutta percha, and I did not get a good strong tuck back. I immediately changed my technique towards using an MTA. Okay, and you can see the final result. I have limited everything. If I don't use MTA here, everything can go beyond the apex and it can harm the nerve. Okay, because it was very close to the inferior alveolar nerve, right? So you need to change the technique when you do not get a tuck back with your 80 number K file. So I'm going to share you this scenario. This is a pre-op clinical scenario with tooth number 1, right and left central incisor. Okay, one was a poorly done root canal. I have done a sinus tracing with a gutta percha, and final diagnosis I came that I need to do a root canal with my right central incisor and re-root canal with my left central incisor. So when I started the retreatment part of initially with left central incisor, I could gauge the foramen and it was less than 80 mm. I got a strong tug back. So what did I do? I used a bioceramic sealer and I did the three-dimensional filling. You can see the difference between both the fills. It is three-dimensionally filled well. Okay. But when I was doing with my right central incisor, you can see the third X-ray showing that 80 number file is also loose in the canal. That is, it is the foramen is more than 0.80 mm. So in this case, I will just change the obturation technique entirely to MTA. Okay, and once you fill the MTA, the rest of the part you can just use your obturation device, which I'm gonna share you in the coming slides how to do these things. Okay, so how do you obturate it? Okay, you have the core material, you have the sealer in place. Now you need something to pack it well. Okay, so to pack it, you need certain armamentarium. So there are different techniques that was given by, lateral condensation, very old technique. There was a warm vertical obturation, sectional obturation, thermoplasticized obturation, and in India, and I don't know in about any other country, everybody tries to just put a single cone or a cone fit and they just do it, but they don't know if you want to do a single cone obturation, you need to use a bioceramic sealer which will not resorb, which will expand, which will flow everywhere. So if you are not using a bioceramic sealer, you need to change, you need to do certain techniques, which is your vertical condensation technique, and which is the most I will say most commonest and very predictable treatment. So here comes my devices for warm vertical obturation. This is the technique which I do it for my all my cases. I do not prefer doing a single cone obturation, even if it's a posterior most tooth, maybe even a third molar, a wisdom tooth. But I will always prefer this warm vertical compaction. For this technique, I need two devices. Okay, one is my apical, for my apical apical condensation. This is called as obturation pen. It is from a COXO company. This is an obturation pen. And second device which I need is the backfilling part. It's a root canal system. You cannot fill just one single cone. You need to three-dimensionally take the shape of the entire canal. So these are the two devices. One is a down pack device. It is called as obturation pen, and the other is called as a backfill device, or you can call it as gutta pacha extruder. You need these two devices. Without these two devices, you will not be able to get that predictable result. So I guess 2-3 things are very important during your root canal is your endomotor, your rotary files, your activation device, and your apex locator. And most important, when it comes to an obturation part, these devices are very much important. Without that, you cannot do it. Okay, predictably, you might get success temporarily for 5 years, 10 years, 10 years, or 12 years. Your root canal can go, but if you want your root canal stay for a very, very long time, 20 years, 30 years down the line, you need to follow this technique. Okay, so I'm gonna share you a small video about these devices. Okay, this is an obturation pen, and this is the obturation gun. So it's a amazing design. You have the two buttons and which you can press. You can go to any temperature from 150 to 230. Like you need to go in bioceramic sealer, you need to reduce the temperature. You can use this in any place. Okay, because you have so much variation, and you can go apically very predictable. So you have so much of temperature in, so many tip size, and it just heats within 0.5 seconds. Okay, and can be used with the left hand or right hand. If you're left or right, it doesn't matter. You can just change the color. Okay, now this is an extruder part. So once you are done down packing the thing, you need to backfill it, three-dimensionally pack it. Okay. Fine, great. So it heats up and you need to put a Gatapacha point inside it and your liquid Gatapacha will come. And it goes to 200 degree within 15 seconds. Okay. So these are the two devices. So I shall proceed with the next device. How do you actually use it? How do you actually operate these devices? Fine. So first, how do you put your obturator part? Okay. How do you install it? So this is your gun. Okay. You have many tips. You need to attach it to your extruder. Okay, tighten it so that your Gatapacha does not leak from that part. This is for your patient protection. Patient does not feel the heat or doesn't get burnt. If you're using rubber dam, no issues. Now you have to take a small Gatapacha. This is alpha type of Gatapacha pellet. Very economical way. Just put one at a time, not multiple, one at a time. Okay. So your gun is ready, your extruder is ready. You can bend it to any direction according to your canal orifice direction. Okay, within 15 seconds, your device is ready. Now, second device you need to ready is your obturation pen. Okay, so you can take small size or a medium size pluggers. They have various sizes of pluggers. Oh yes. This is again for a patient protection. Okay. And a rubber stopper so you can go predictably seal the apical part. You need to seal 6 mm from the apical part. I'm repeating it, 6 mm. Okay. So now I'm gonna repeat. Do it on a plastic block. I'm gonna dry the canal, most important part. Okay, since this is a plastic model, you cannot use an apex locator. Okay, this is from the 6 mm of the apical part. Okay, now I'm gonna select my cone, Gatapacha point. I'm gonna cut the excess part first so I can predictably go down and see I've activated it. I went down. You can see I have gone slowly condensing my Gatapacha apically. Okay. Yes, and I removed it, and now you can see the coronal and the middle third part came out, and I'm condensing it with my hand pluggers. So my apical seat is done. Now what I will do, I will just do the backfill part, three-dimensionally filling my entire system. Oh wow. And pack it. Okay, you do it in multiple steps because Gatapacha on cooling they get contracted, so you should do it stepwise, 2 steps or 3 steps. It's okay to fill the entire canal. See, this is how I have filled till the canal orifice. Nothing should be beyond that part. Coronal seal, this is called the coronal part. It's getting sealed. Perfect. Yes. Nice. So once you are done with this thing, You can see three-dimensionally, everything is packed perfectly. This is what you want. Now there are no chances for microorganisms to grow back again. Okay. So it's a very simple technique, simple devices, very economical, and to get your obturation done every time predictably. Okay, I'm also gonna share you one of my case where you another advantage of it. If you don't want to do a backfill, you can just put a post and core. Like for this anterior broken tooth, okay, I isolated the tooth. The patient didn't want to extract the tooth, they want to save it. I did the apical gauging. I will share you a video how I did the gauging. See, 0 on my apex locator, and it's the 55. So I'm gonna use the same cone, same master cone or same Gatapacha point number 55. Okay, so this is the X-ray for my cone fit. I'm gonna use the bioceramic sealer. This is MTA based sealer. I did some combination of lateral and vertical compaction, and see, once I down packed it, you can see only apical GP. Now I do not need to fill it. I just need to condense it and do my post and core. So the added advantage of using this device is you do not use your I'm saying piezo reamers or drills, that 𝐤𝐧𝐠𝐥𝐢𝐬𝐡 drills, which used to create more micro cracks. You just need to down pack it and do the cleaning part. Since it's a bioceramic sealer, it gets washed easily with the water. Okay, the canals are dried, and you can see the post placement. And I have done this post placement in one single visit. Entirely thing was done with the help of this device. So I have many advantages of using this device. One is for 3D obturation, one is for post and core. I do not need extra armamentarium like 𝐤𝐧𝐠𝐥𝐢𝐬𝐡 or piezo reamers to prepare that post space. So that was a small videos about it. So there are so many advice. So if you have case like this, you cannot do a single cone obturation or just a sealer based obturation. You need these devices, or you need to refer it. Okay, if you don't want to refer it, you need to have these devices. Okay, which is a down pack and a backfill. One more case, C-shaped canals. These are predictably only and only filled with just two things. One is down pack and one is backfill. Okay, again a C-shaped canal. See, there are so many cases. C-shaped canals, different type of anatomies, all can be easily and predictably filled with just a packing device and a filling device. Once you do this thing, you need to give certain instructions to patient. That is, patient should be advised that the tooth may be slight tender for few days. You know, you do anything you do, your patients will have pain. It is there will be pain. You need to prescribe anti-inflammatory, not antibiotics. So it is okay if there is some amount of pain. Pain is temporary. You can give anti-inflammatory analgesic or some warm saline rinses, but do not prescribe antibiotic. It's not needed. Second thing, if swelling occurs after root canal treatment, don't jump to just a conclusion that you have failed. Relax, give cold compresses. It's just a flare up. It will reduce after 2 to 3 days. Patient should be advised not to chew unduly from that side, because if you chew from that side, or they might have a tender periodontal ligament, it will hurt them and they will keep on complaining. So you need to give these instructions. And obviously this is most important part, you need to recall your patient. You should give a free recall. Recall will actually tell you that your success of your root canal treatment. So I showed you before an CBCT of a patient from United Kingdom. You saw how the bone has formed. That is a success, and this you should give it for free. You should take one RVG, and it should be free of cost, and then you can predictably understand whether you have done a right job, or you're getting result, or your tooth is failing. Okay, so to conclude, There are basic approaches to obturation. One is you just fill the entire canal with only sealer. That is only possible with bioceramic sealer, not any other sealer. You do a single cone obturation. This both the A and B options are only with bioceramic sealer, not with any other sealers. This is with the old technique of lateral condensation. You can see there are so many marginal gaps. Still, I was not able to get the three-dimensional fill. But if you want to get this results, this three-dimensional fill, you need to go with a thermoplasticized compaction technique, and which is possible with your down pack and with your backfill. So you need to invest on certain devices like your rotary files, your hand files is for shaping, your endomotor is for shaping, your apex locator is to check the length, then is your activation device to activate your hypochlorite and your EDTA solution, and finally in the obturation part, what do you need to invest on is just two simple devices, and it is gonna give you an amazing result. You know, most of the root canal fail because of the seal, which I have told you 58%. So if you can do that seal part, you will get amazing results, man. So rule number one, gutta percha versus bioceramic. If you have a bigger foramen, more than 80 mm, I will use MTA. Like in the first case, the foramen was big because of trauma. I could not seal it with gutta percha. I used MTA. But in this case, I was able to get the tuck back with gutta percha. I have used my conventional technique. Second rule is seal to heal. If you prepare it short, you need to buy apex locator. Mind it, those dentists who are watching this webinar and if they do not have apex locator, please first of all invest on apex locator. If you prepare it short, it is 100% of failure. Like this. Okay, you can see the short preparation. I did it well. I reached the success part. So 0, 0 on the apex locator is the end point, and 0, 0 means in the green zone. Okay, in green zone, that is a part where you need to obturate. That is the difference between major and minor diameter. Like this, I have reached it. You know, I have done the down pack part after my master cone, backfill, getting this three-dimensional fill, perfectly done. This re-RCT done in single visit, perfectly fit. So this patient, I took a follow-up. I have done multiple re-root canal treatment in this. On the right side, this was patient came after an year, and you can see the result. The periapical infection completely healed. Not, I will not say completely, but 90% of the lesion got healed just by doing a single visit root canal, giving a three-dimensional fill, and all the protocols were followed. So when to fill is, you know, the right answer. When you can dry it, you can fill it. So even if you have a re-RC, re-treatment case, if you have time, patient have time, canals are dry, you have everything in position, just do in one single visit, no antibiotics, only painkillers. So now, most important thing, whether you want to go versus single cone versus 3D fill. I'll say single cone obturation is not good. You know, warm obturation, the video, it just took me only 4 minutes to do it. 4 minutes. That is the time. So it is very fast and very efficient. You see compare both the pictures. This is a single cone. Once you make an X-ray, X-rays are two-dimensional images, so you don't see whether the canal is completely. And what image on the right side, you see this is a C-shaped canal, three-dimensionally packed well, properly. And this is what the fill we want. Okay, even if it be central incisor, even if it be premolar, narrow canals or wide canals, everything, just one single technique, down pack and backfill it. So this is the way you get the fill. You can see all lateral canals getting filled because of the hydraulic pressure, because you have cleaned it well, and because you have done everything right. It needs to be packed properly. Like this. This is done by my friend Dr. Sanil Natika. He's an amazing clinician. You see the apical part, the moment he has done the down pack, see that sealer flown to every other lateral canals. So it's very simple. You have a case like this, you do a biomechanical preparation, you gauge it, you take a master cone X-ray, you down pack it, you backfill it, and you restore it. And Patient is happy, you are happy. 1 hour and you are done. If somebody has a doubt whether we can use this thing in curved canal, yes, you can use this thing in curved canals also. I have done this thing. This is a curved, extremely curved canal. This is a lower third molar wisdom teeth. See how predictably down pack can be done. You have multiple tip option by the company. You can use a smaller diameter tip which can go and shear off the gutta percha at that 6 mm part, and you're getting it, and you are getting this seal. Okay, this is the down pack part, and this is the backfill one. Okay, and the results are very clear. Here is a three-dimensional fill. So even if you have a curved canal, you get this three-dimensional fill properly. So this curved canal also, you don't get it so often. Most of the canals have slight degree of curvature, so I don't think that your devices will ever have. If you have this case, still it is a no worries, no issues with the devices. It can predictably done. But sometimes if you use, sometimes you can have overfilling, but that doesn't mean you need to just change the devices. You just have to be confident. Impossible is nothing. Sometimes it happens. You need to learn from your mistakes. Even I did this overfill with, there was lots of sealer, it went beyond. I did a follow-up for the patient is fine, absolutely. I used a bioceramic sealer, but now I'm very cautious while using bioceramic sealer, because while injecting it inside the canal, I have to be very slow and gentle. So that doesn't mean it is a failure. I just did everything right. The canals were sealed properly. Nothing happened. My coronal seal is good. So the results are fine. So the most difficult part is in our head. You know, how do we start this technique? The most heaviest thing is that we are carrying in our heads whether this technique will be easy for you or not. It is a very predictable technique. Anybody can do it, just that you need to follow the right way of doing it, which I have shown you. You can take those videos. I'll be uploading it. Even the Carol and Anirudh will be also uploading this videos of how to use these devices. It's very predictable. Only thing is that you have in your head that I won't be able to do it. It is very easy. But I also want to tell you, a fool with a tool still remains a fool. Okay, so if you buy the device and if you don't know how to use it, you are still a fool. Okay, so you should know how to use those devices. It's a very predictable way. So kindly invest on certain devices. If you have the tool, if you don't do the gauging, and if you downpack it, it will go beyond. So you, every step in root canal treatment in endodontics are very predictable. You need to follow all these principles to get a predictable result. So if you buy a downpack device, tomorrow you will getting a 3D film. No, that's not the thing. You need to follow the certain step. You need to activate it. You need to do the gauging, apex locator. Everything will go one by one. I am just concluding the obturation part, the final part, what patient will see, what other dentist will see, how you have done your cases. So anything devices you want to buy, first go stepwise. Everything should be step by step, and once you have followed all the steps, you will get a predictable results. So this is my clinic name, Roots Dental Care, because I am a root canal specialist. So I've named it as a Roots Dental Care. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I keep on posting simple techniques, how to use it, how to use your apex locator, how the difficult cases, how to do the diagnosis, any cases, any damn cases. I'll keep on updating on a global forum. You can follow me, or you can even WhatsApp me and ask. I'm always available. And thank you, everyone. I'll conclude my lecture here. Is there Carol online? Carol, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, Ankit.
Yes.
Yes. Many thanks for your excellent lecture. I'm here.
Thank you.
Uh, now I will make give us some question on the screen.
Yes.
Please answer it, and later you can pick up the best question. And also
So,
you can write down your comment on the comment live. Okay, the first one from Bashar here.
oh, okay. Sorry, I could not pronounce your name. Like you said, canal 00 or point 0.5. See, in you should be in that green zone. If you have an apex locator, you have to be in green zone. So green zone .00, that means your canal is patent. Your apical foramen is open. If you are 0.5 mm short in a large apical lesion, that doesn't matter a lot. Just you need to do your cleaning, shaping, obturation in that green zone, whether it be 00 or 01 or zero point 0.5. It is okay. Do not reduce any value, just follow the apex locator readings. Okay, so even in periapical lesions also.
Okay, here is the second question. What is the
Okay,
base case in
Bashar.
events?
Okay, what is the better in case of a large periapical lesion? Filling the canals in the same visit if we get dryness and waiting for the next visit dressing. See what I will say. If you have a large periapical lesion, if you can dry it, please fill it. Please fill it. Don't wait, because the problem is not inside the thing. That it is outside in the bone. So if you find any infection, large periapical, it will heal because that is a body part. You cannot go beyond the body part. You cannot body will heal the bone part. You cannot heal bone. Okay, you can just treat the tooth. Just treat the tooth. That is, get the dry canals, fill it outside, let God and let body function. Okay, so calcium hydroxide has a minimal value if you have it.
Okay, next question.
Sir, if canal is dry, then we can fill the canal with any sealer or not. You can use any sealer. I would always prefer going first with a resin, because you said you can dry the canal. Use resin first, okay, because you are absolutely drying it. But remember, if you're using any other sealer, you need to down pack it and backfill it. You cannot just do it with some other technique. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
nice. This is Abhishek sir. This is a nice question. How is the battery backup and how large? I have a device. I don't charge it for 6 months. I just need it for 2 seconds. I just need it for 2 seconds. 2 seconds, down pack, finish it. Entire 4 minutes, the obturation is done. I every day use my apex locator and the COXO device. They have amazing battery. 6 months, you don't need charging, but backfill, you need to charge every 10 days initially. That is it takes again and again the time for charging, but for down pack you don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
But
thank you.
case of broken file apical, we can't do bypass and remove and fill the thing observation after 3 months, and or we go for okay. See, this is beyond the lecture topic, but if you say, if you cannot bypass it, see, if you cannot bypass it, please try to do other canals properly. Okay, you have 4 canals. Okay, 4 canals, 3 canals you have done well. Fourth canal, if you're not able to do it, it is okay. Sometimes it is okay, you can recall it. Don't directly jump for apical surgery. You can prevent apical surgery, but if patient has symptoms, I feel that you should refer it to some endodontist, or you can go for apical surgery. Okay, but most of the cases you can avoid.
Okay.
The last question, extrusion. Okay, if you do not
This
have,
sorry,
okay.
sorry. This is first.
Okay. Extrusion of sealer out of apex is called as puff on radiograph. Is that evidence of good apical seal? Nobody know. I will not say that it's a good apical seal. It just means to me that the foramen is open. You just went outside the apex. I already told you, your playground, your pitch, or your football ground, or your endodontic ground is from that coronal part till apical part. It is not beyond that. Beyond that, if the sealer goes, that is, you have used an excess sealer. Okay, or even it shows that you have an open foramen. If you do not have tuck back in that, right to use a bioceramic sealer. Sir, I will suggest that if you do not have tuck back, use MTA first. But if you try to use the gutta percha and bioceramic sealer, in some cases you can go with it. That depends on staging of root formation. It is called as NOLA staging, NOLLA. I'm just typing it for everyone. NOLA staging. Okay, NOLA staging. If that stage is 8, NOLA stage 8, where the roots are completely formed and the GP is, I guess, 90 or 100, you can go with a bioceramic sealer and a higher gutta percha, and you can buy that gauge and cut the exact gutta percha size. But I will suggest anything above 80, kindly use MTA, because it will give you a predictable result. Bioceramic will give you good results, but MTA is 100% sure. That is 100% sure.
Okay, that is all question. I think that is all. If I think some of dentist they will see the record. If it have more question, please, Mr. Ankit, please help us to reply on our common live. Okay.
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 So thank you, everyone.
The best question you can tell to my colleague Marvin later after the lecture, because I think some of the dentists they will see the record and they will leave the question. You can reply them on the comment and tell Mr. Marvin which is the
Yes.
best question. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much,
thanks
Carol.
for your time. Thank you, Dr. Ankit. Thanks for your
Thank you so
time and
much.
thanks for your excellent lecture.
Everybody enjoy endodontics and believe in endodontics.
Okay, so see you next time. Hope we can cooperation
Okay.
in future. Bye bye.
Bye.
At the last, I saw a lot of dentists as a hero and say hello, and a lot of other comment on our common line. And tomorrow we will pick up the best, the lucky guy to suppose COXO gift of our file. Okay, now that's all for our this time webinar. Actually, COXO is every week. COXO fee public webinar will be held every week. If any dentist want to win COXO gift or suppose COXO, please follow our Facebook page every day. So see you next time. Bye bye.